Shut up and sit down.
Greetings, fellow travelers. Olix here, coming at you today from FTB Revelation. How y'all doing today? So last time we built this blood magic altar, tier 2 altar, over here in the mountain. And you see I've done a little bit extra work around the mountain. It has been a few days since I've recorded, but I have not been sitting on my laurels. I did bring a modular storage unit over here to put some blood magic bits and bobs in, and I routed our refined storage grid over here. So everything we have in the house, we have access to over here. Fantastic. And I cleaned up the stairwell a little bit and added an elevator, red block elevator, up to a little room we're going to work on later, not today. But a little room we're going to work on to collect mobs. Whoa, I got stuck on the... Yep, shift, get off. There we go. So this will be the room that's going to collect the mobs for us, drop on our altar so we can murderficate them and get all that juicy blood that we're going to need. But today we're going to step away from blood magic. I'll show you a couple other things I have done. I have been cycling our bees through. Oh, yes, I did forget. Well, we'll take a look at that in a little bit. I did set up a... Man, brain is not in gear today. I did set up a water trap from Pam's Harvest Craft. Easy to build little device, and basically you just plop it down in some water, and it will collect... You know, if you give it some bait, it will collect items that you can't normally get otherwise through normal fishing means. Then I set up a ground trap here, very similar. It's a different type of bait you put in there. There's actually 3 different types of bait that can go in this one. And it will collect things from the ground that you can't normally get otherwise. Now put this hopper on top here and here, just to keep it loaded with bait. And then I actually routed some Ender IO conduit out the bottom of this thing, see right there, to this modular storage system. So that one comes over here and routes out this way, and then comes right here, and then this guy just routes straight across. And you can see I've been collecting. Now this is bait here. 64 bait here plus 64 bait all the way across. So 6 stacks of 64 bait there and here as well, for the 2 different types. And this is what you can harvest from those. I did use the fruit bait in here. Now I'll show you there's different types of bait that you can use. So we have the fish bait, which is this one. That's the one that works over here in the fish trap or water trap. And in the ground trap you can use the veggie bait, the grain bait, or the fruit bait. Now I did use the fruit bait in this one, and you can see that got us chicken, as well as eggs and bones and leather and rabbit hide. Rabbit came from that as well. I think there's duck in here somewhere, or maybe that's one of the other baits. No, there it is, it's raw duck. So you can get that kind of stuff. And then of course we got tons of different fish. Now a lot of these you can get from our the fish are from industrial foregoing, like the catfish and the puffer fish, things like that, the perch. But some of them you can't. The scallop you can't get from it. The snails, the turtles, the frogs you can't get. The mussels, the oysters. You can't get the shrimp as well from the industrial foregoing fisher. So using these water traps works really well. So I will load these all up and haul them into our system. And I did a few nether runs and ran across this skyberry bush. So I went ahead and brought him back to the overworld and went ahead and planted our other bushes here. And we've been collecting those up as well. We're going to be setting up a Pam's Harvest Craft kitchen before long because that is going to help us with our blood magic. Because remember, eating was very important. We went through a ton of our rice bread. I did look through Actually Additions at some other foods that can be produced in Actually Additions. So you can see this submarine sandwich is actually relatively easy to make and fairly decent. But the pizza, man, look at this sucker. It is better. How much better is that? 13 saturation from one slice of pizza. That is some seriously good food to be eaten. But it's a little bit complicated to make. Now, what I did want to make was also from Actually Additions is that most people don't even realize Actually Additions has all this food, but it does. I wanted to make these hamburgers because they're pretty darn good for you, and they're relatively easy to make. The recipe's not that bad. The problem is they don't exist in this pack. See, you put in all the things you need, and you get Biomass. You cannot make the hamburger from Actually Additions. It's a recipe foo bar they have in there. A glitch in the matrix, if you will, that is programmed in incorrectly, or maybe they didn't intentionally. I don't know. I don't think it's intentional because I think they would have taken out the pizza too. The pizza's actually significantly better. But let's go ahead and make some more bait and throw that in there so we can get some more Pam's food. That way we can eat well when we're doing our blood magic. Now, instead of the fish, you can use calamari, which you get from harvesting squid. And every chance I get, I just go out there and just smash the heck out of some squid. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we did the fruit last time. I may do the veggie this time. Let's see. Do I have enough? Probably have enough taters. Let's do taters. I don't have enough in the system, but I can definitely go grab some from in here. I did set up the cloche for netherwort, and I set one up for rice so that we can make some more rice bread. I was running a little bit low on rice bread. Now, one of these guys has taters. I don't know which one. That is my carrots. That's my taters. There we go. And we'll bring that back in the house over here. Doo-doo-doo. And we'll just pop those in like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fantastic. We'll reload this guy back up. And I just pop these in here like so. And that in there like so. Get those last ones in. Pop one down in the bottom. And boom. And this guy will start collecting. I'm going to go ahead and get all the other bits and bobs out so we can see what we did collect. Now I did put looting 3 onto our whackety whack sword here, so when I go and kill these squid, I get as much out of them as possible. Of course, my inventory is totally full, so I can't get anything right now. As well, when I went to the nether, I was getting as much as I could out of the wither skeletons and whatnot, because I did just sit in the fortress and just harvest the snot out of everything in there. We got blaze rods for days, I'm telling you. If I look at those blaze, yeah, see 548 blaze rods. We are loaded up on that stuff. I don't really need those. Why do I have those? So To do that, I didn't do a normal Minecraft enchantment setup. I did set up this guy, the Ender IO Enchanter, and it's relatively easy to make because it is pricey on the back end. Now, if my tired eyes can find it, there it is right there. You need some dark steel, which is obsidian, crushed coal, and iron. And that will, in your alloys, put all that in your alloy smelter and you'll get dark steel. So it's 4 dark steel, a book, and 2 diamonds, and you get your enchanter. And what this basically lets you do is make any enchantment in the game. We're going to do that today, because there's an enchantment I want that I don't have. I did also put Respiration 3 on my helmet, so when I'm chasing the squid down, it's nice and easy. I put Fire Protection on my breeches, because when I'm running around in the nether, killing those mobs, obviously get put on fire from time to time. And I put Depth Strider on my boots, that way when I'm chasing squids, it's a whole lot easier. So, click here, and you can see the recipes. They're all listed right here. And I think, yeah, this was fire protection, so we needed blaze powder. I showed you we had all that, the blaze giblets, so that was no problem. Now, and notice how it's counting up. So 16, 32, 48, 64. That's the different tiers. If you look right here, it's going through the different tiers of fire protection. So if you want fire protection 4, which is what we have, you need 64 blaze powder. Plus 12 lapis. And you need 28 levels in a book, written book. So we needed 28 levels to do that. That's a huge amount of levels. This is what I want to work on today. Aqua Affinity. I don't have that. That's going to let us see underwater better. I did, remember, add the Depth Strider, which is just the Prismarine. Remember, we can zap quartz in our Zapparator laser. Right there, this guy. Put some quartz in front of that. That'll turn it into Prismarine shards, which we can turn into Prismarine. Not a problem. And the glass bottles gave us the respiration, so we had those. But I don't have any lily pads. So I haven't been able to make the Aqua Affinity. So I only need a lily pad in 3 levels. It's super easy, but I don't have a lily pad. Well, we can make one. So if I just type in lily and click on it, you can see obviously we can collect them in the overworld or through a miner, which we don't have any of. But I can use Botania. And I could put a vine into a mana pool and get out a lily pad if it has an alchemy catalyst underneath. And an alchemy catalyst is relatively easy. We need some living rock, 2 brewing stands, a mana pearl, and some gold. So let's go ahead and make one of those. I don't know why I have this here. Oh, because I found this wand in the nether when I was on my nether adventure. I found a whole bunch of neat things in fortresses. I'll show you later, but I went ahead and captured a blaze spawner in my in this moving wand. So you just right click an item, you pick it up, and you can carry it with you. So we can carry a full-on regular blaze spawner with us, which I'm thinking we might use for blood magic, because I did a test. I just went to the nether, grabbed a blaze in our soul vial, wherever the heck that is. Did I use my soul vial? Yeah, I must have used my soul vial. Anyway, remember I was carrying a soul vial in here. So I went to a blaze, went to the nether, caught a blaze, brought it over, killed him on the altar, and he produces a metric ton of blood for us. Killed somebody, blaze, actually got a trophy, as well as squid and bats. I've done a lot of mining off camera as well. And I'll take you down there and show you that here in a minute. But let's focus, Oblix, focus. We need to make this alchemy catalyst, so we're going to need 2 brewing stands. So there's 2 brewing stands. Then we're going to need living rock and a mana pearl. Do we have any of that in here? No, but we may have them over there, but I may not. So let me just grab some end pearls just in case. I don't have any mana pearls in there. We'll jump up here. And we're going to toss these in here. There we go. And there's some living rock, but we probably have some in here. We do. Like so. Good. I didn't have any mana pearls, so that was good. I brought them. Oh, let's see. Did we already gather stuff? Remember, we had emptied this out. Oh, yeah. Look how fast that grabs stuff. Isn't that great? Good source of quick food. So we'll pop back into the house. And boop you right there. And just pop you guys around like so. Alchemy catalyst. Fantastic. Now we need our vines. And I only need one for the time being. Hey, get through the door. Because we do have our little vine wall there where we've been growing and cutting our vines down. Trimming them with our shears, which by the way can go in the repairer if you need to repair them. So we're just going to pop this underneath this mana pool like so. You will see the bottom of the pool right now is just that, that white color from the living rock. When I pop this guy down here, you see it shows through the bottom like so, which tells you it is now an alchemy catalyst pool, which allows me to take a vine, toss it in, and get a lily pad out. So it is a super cool way to transfer things. Oh yes, yes. I don't remember if I showed you this, guys, in the last video or not. I think I did. You can actually shift right click on these and break the garden. And I brought these other gardens over and I have been harvesting these guys as well. So I'll just leave one up there and then let it spread. I think I did show you that. I don't remember. So now we need a written book. So we're going to need a regular book. And we're going to add a feather and an ink sac to that. Make a written book. And we're going to go ahead and grab a little more lapis lazuli. I don't know how much is left in here. No, you go there. You go there. You go there. 3 levels. We got 21. We should be fine. Now we've got aqua affinity. Fantastic. Take our helmet off. Pop that there. For 3 levels, we're going to get aqua affinity added to respiration. Now we should be able to see under the water as well as hold our breath for much, much longer. And honestly, not that much better. Get dead, squid. After I put respiration on these on this helmet, I went through, because I can stay underwater so much longer, I went through and made most of the bottom of this thing sand, remember, and leveled it out a little bit. It had a lot of janky holes down there in the bottom, and I just spent some time leveling it out because it looks better. Plus, I'm spending so much time in here harvesting squid anyway, for the ink sacs as well as for the calamari, which I'm using as bait up there. So it just made it nicer. Clean this out a little bit. Came over here. Clean this out a little bit. I didn't go all sand. Just did a little bit of sand, just a touch. Trying to make it look a little bit natural. I mean, it was natural generation, but it was just, I don't know, a little janky looking. So I tried to straighten it out a little bit. Did the same thing over here in this pool, kind of smoothed it out a little bit. This one was really bad. We had a whole bunch of, there's a cavern under here and there are holes all over the place. I just smoothed all this out a little bit. Trying to make it look a little bit nicer for us. So we've got that. We got the bait. I did want to also today take a look at, ooh, I need to eat. Hello, hungry. Let's get our long range zapper here, and we're gonna head on over to where we've been keeping the natural bees. There we go. And you can see I have yet to produce a common. Yep, no commons. So one thing we can do, now we're using the bee houses that we just picked up in a village. So today we're going to do an upgrade. We're going to go away from the regular old bee houses, and we're going to upgrade to an apiary from forestry. Now, one other thing that we were having a problem with last episode that I did talk about was not having refined storage here in the factory. So I did take care of that, just ran it up from the basement there, and I ran it up to every single level. So I've got it there, and I've got it there, which sure does make things handy that I can just pop in here and craft things as needed. So one thing we want to look at is forestry apiary. This guy right here. So this is what I want to make, because this has some upgrades you can do with it that you can't do with a bee house. But in order to make it, we just need some planks, which we have tons of. Not a problem there. But we need this guy here in the middle. But it's an impregnated casing, which we need to make in the carpenter, which we have a carpenter, so that's not a problem. But you see it needs seed oil, not water like our current carpenter has. So I want to go ahead and make a new carpenter, which is basically just a bunch of bronze, which hopefully we have enough of. Yeah. And we're going to have to get some seed oil. Now, seed oil, oops, I clicked on olive oil. Seed oil, we can make, we can load it in the transposer, but we can make it in the squeezer. Just basically any old seed you can think of. All the Pam's ones, the Actually Additions ones. Toss it in here, and you're going to get a certain measure of seed oil. Now, the Pam's don't make much seed oil. Something like a Beanie's Extra Tree Coconut makes a lot. But whatever seed you have extra of, or a ton of, and there's always, machines that produce a ton of extra seed, right? If you got beetroot, you can pop those in there. The rice seeds, which we have a ton of, we'll pop those in there, and just squeeze those down, and that's going to give you the good stuff. So we're going to make us a squeezer here. So that's yet another casing. And let's go ahead and squeezer. Bam. So we'll go ahead and get that. And let's grab some conduit. And I should grab some fluid conduit as well, because we need to get the fluid out of the squeezer into the carpenter. Now here's our carpenter with water in it, and we want to leave that in case we need to make anything that needs water. So we're going to put another carpenter down, and we're going to put a squeezer down. Bam. And these guys do take a power, so we are going to have to run a power. I'm going to move this water, though, because it is a little bit in the way. I'll just put that there, like it is so. And can I get under there? No. Yes, cheat. All else fails, cheat. There we go. Now, these guys need go-go juice. And he should now have power. And he should now have power. Fantastic. And we're going to pipe out the... Whoa, I was holding shift. I shouldn't have been holding shift. We're going to pipe out the fluid from there to there. So we're going to go from the squeezer, so that will be an out, and into the carpenter, so that'll be an end. Now we just need to go get a bunch of seed. Let's do. I know I've got a ton downstairs. Let's see if I have any in my system. Still a long way to run over here, but it sure beats running all the way downstairs, I gotta tell you. Is this Sajid? There's some rice, and you know what? Let's just grab a... I don't have one. Let's just grab a hopper, throw it on top. So it'll just make a ton of it. Seed. And we're just gonna load up with a bunch of seed, and then let's grab a chest. Bingo bango. This should make it easy to produce a whole bunch. Move that up, move that over, pop that on, and we can just load this guy up. And we can load this guy up too. Excellent. Now you see him producing. It's making the seed oil. Yeah, you see it just pouring through here, and it's loading up inside of our carpenter. So that will allow us to make that impregnated wood. So, to make our apiary, we just need regular old logs. So I think we can use spruce. We should have plenty. And we rush back over to our carpenter, and we're just going to teach it the pattern. And we see that makes us an impregnated casing. We're going to feed it the material, and we just have to wait for it to get enough seed oil. It looks like it's already producing. Looked like it had enough. Give it a second, and bammo, impregnated casing. Fantastic. So we can bring that back over here. I really should put one of these over there as well. Details. I didn't even need that. Let's see. Apiary. We should be able to make this now. Fantastic. I will actually go ahead and make another one. And then one of the things this guy does, and I can never remember the name of these things. It's going to take me a second to find them. There is an upgrade that this guy allows above the bee house. Above and beyond the bee house. These guys right here. These frames. So an untreated frame is relatively easy, just basic sticks and some string. But you can see it produces 2 times more with a genetic decay of -9 and a durability of 80. But if we go up to the next one, the impregnated frame, which uses impregnated sticks, we still have the 2x, but we get a 0.4x decay, which is significantly less, and we get much more durability out of them. And then there's this last one, this proven frame. You can't actually make this. You have to get it from a villager out in the world. So you got to go talk to the apiarist, give him some emeralds and some levels, and he'll give you one of those. So I think we're just going to make the impregnated frame. So we need some impregnated sticks, which is 2 logs. We'll give you 2 sticks. So let's just grab a bunch of logs. We'll come over here like so. And let's pop our 8 more in, make another casing words. Boom, done. And we'll take all these out. And I'm going to just put 2 there like so. I think I'm just going to pop those in like so. And let it make a bunch of impregnated sticks. And it may have to actually wait for a little bit more go-go juice. No, it's good. Fantastic. Alright, pop this guy in here. We get a second bee house. And we'll pop our impregnated sticks in there. And we're going to look for this guy. Now, the thing is, I can put... If you look in this guy, you see he's got 3 slots that the other one that the bee house doesn't have. These 3 slots right here. And this is where your frame goes. I can put 2 additional frames in here and they do stack. So I need to make 5 more frames so I can load up both of these guys. And what this is going to do is help us get the right bees that we're looking for, because we're not having any luck with those bee houses. They're just taking forever and we're not making any forward progress. So let me make several more impregnated sticks and some more frames, and I will bring you guys back. Alright, we got all our impregnated sticks. So we're going to go ahead and make some more of these guys. 1, 2. They do not stack, unfortunately. And 3 per apiary. So let's take these over to our farm. And let's go ahead and just break these guys, as they have not worked for us in the slightest. So we're going to pop those down, pop those in like so. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put our Meadows Princess with our Forest Drone. We're going to come over here. We're going to put our Forest Princess with one of our Meadows Drones. And with these impregnated frames, that should increase the probability of getting a common drone out of these guys. So we'll let these guys sit and cook. They won't run at night. We'll have to wait for daytime for those to run. They won't run any faster or anything. It's just giving you a better chance of getting what you wanted. Whoa, hello, tree. Now, I want to take you guys down here into the mines. Again, I've been doing my mining in the overworld because it seems to have a higher ore generation than in the mining dimension for whatever reason. And, I mean, you guys can tell I've done a lot of digging down here so far that it won't even render. There's several slime chunks down here, by the way. But you see, I did find our mob farm in my last little mining adventure. The mine stopped about right here. Wait, where's our stairway? It stopped. Whoa, don't fall in there. That's a bad thing to do. Yeah, it stopped about right there. There was a wall. Ran right over to about here, where this line is, and went all the way down. So I've taken out all this space, pretty much in the last couple of days. Just, everywhere where it's, gone from 3 high to 5 high. I switched over to the 5 high on my drill and just started tearing all this out. But I did find our mob farm, so we're not too far off the ground there. And that's pretty cool. I went ahead and glassed that in. We're going to do some upgrades to this guy before long. And I did find a zombie spawner. So that's kind of cool. That's some extra mobbage we can take upstairs to over there to our blood magic area. So we have blazes and zombies. It's the only spawner I've found in here thus far. I said dig out a ton of space, but only have found that. Now I haven't gone through yet and cleared out all the ores in the bottom and the top like I did with the the other area. I was going through and doing that all at one time. That's why the ground is so pockmarked. And because I was constantly digging out all the ore I could find, I haven't done that with this area yet. You can tell some blizzes were spawning, and actually when I uncovered this, as they would drift down, they would start shooting at me. Another thing I found is there's a mob that is invisible. And I don't have any dark areas, so you're not going to see any, but you'll just see the particle effects. And if you run up to them and just start punching, then they'll show up. I forget what they're called. The Dwellers, I believe is their name. They're from Quark. So you may run into those guys in your world. And then I have been coming down here and just murdering bats as I find them with my looting sword. Come here, come here. Wow, you would think I've never murdered a bat before. Good gravy, this guy's. You jittery, jumpy little thing. So for all those that think I don't actually do any mining, there you go. You question why I have the ores and things I do? That would be why. See, we do have 14,000 iron. Then, of course, we are doing ore duplication upstairs in our sack mill. So, alright, so one last thing I want to show you guys is this guy. Just because it's something that you don't see people use a lot of. Actually, I don't know that I've ever actually seen anyone use it, but it is quite a handy little tool. First off, I need to grab some seeds, some canola seeds, so we'll just grab a stack of those. Now, if I put those guys in here, boop, you see it's got 64 in there. We'll take those out. I must have grabbed 2 stacks instead of 1. Put those away. Now, we're just going to let them sit and cook for a little while. And they're going to turn into this. It's called biomass. And this is a cheap way to reutilize your canola seeds if you have a bunch extra, which you probably do. And you can turn it into a fuel. Now, while that's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and make another compost bin, pile, whatever you want to call it, because I want to make some biomass. Now, I think I have some. I think we saw some earlier. Yeah, I've got quite a bit, actually. The way you do it, or the way you make it, is take a knife, or a knife, and put any amount of vegetables. So if I say carrots, in with the knife. I take some taters. See how it just adds to the number? Any type of veggies in there, and you can make biomass. Now, if we take the biomass, we can drop it in there as well. So this one we got, well, it's already turned over. You see it looks like soul sand, where it used to look like dirt. And remember, we put in we put in the canola seeds, and we're now making this biomass. So if I pull this out, I've got 64 biomass. Now, biomass can be cooked. Take the bread out, put it in our furnace here, and we're going to cook it into bio coal, which is a fuel source that we can use to cook other things. Now we put the biomass into this guy, and it looks like leaves. And we've got some more. We can go ahead and get some more going here. We'll let those go. And eventually this is going to turn into a fertilizer. So we'll pull this bio coal out, and we can just use it in a regular furnace. If you need some, quick and cheap fuel, especially early game, you don't have enough coal, you don't feel like doing any mining or whatever, you can make this bio coal fairly quickly and easily, and use it instead. Especially if you're using, got your canola going, you're making a little bit of power with canola or whatever. You can produce this stuff pretty easily. And there we go. It's turned from a leafy looking material into dirt, and it has made fertilizer. And this works just like any of the old bone meal or anything else. You can just pop it down and it will, I said it works just like bone meal, with the benefit of you get additional seeds. Now one last thing I did find while we were in the nether, this guy. And I've never seen this plant before, so I was a little bit surprised to see it. It's called a gigapickle. Whatever. Our fertilizer does work with it. And we can grow gigapickles. I thought it was funny. I had never seen one before, so there we go. Whatever. Anyhoozle, I do think that is gonna do it for this very weird, very all over the place episode. I sure do appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me today, as always, as I smack you with a gigapickle. And until next time, you guys get out there and make some noise. See ya.